Well, I think, Will Cox was huge for us today. I think it's so neat to see Will progress and get to the bottom of the strike zone, and, he's so efficient. He threw 80 pitches, but I think going into the 7th, he had 63 in that area right there. That's very efficient, and, he gave us the opportunity, hopefully, to get our bullpen back for Tuesday and Wednesday, and this is a tough stretch for us in terms of the amount of games we're playing in a short amount of time, but Will was outstanding, and, the opportunity to get Fitz and Shelley out there was very beneficial to us. Felt like, Alex had a very solid day for us. Hit 2 balls pretty well, and then the 1 infield pop-up, but, there's some things we didn't execute that we just have to get better with in terms of the squeeze and some other things, but at the same time, our kids are pretty resilient, and I feel like we're going to put pretty good swings on the ball. So I think it's a good day for us from the standpoint of saving our bullpen, but at the same time, I think there's some glaring things we need to address and work on in practice, but that's what this time of year is all about.
How's Will different from last year, John? Is he more of a pitcher and less of a thrower now?
Well, I think the biggest thing is his changeup. I think, Butch was on a mission to get him a changeup, and that's what it is. So he's got a 2-seamer that really moves, but he can, that's 85, 87. His 4-seam, he can get up to 90, and then he's got this changeup that's in that 80, 82, 83. Changing speeds is everything. When you talk to big league pitchers, that's what they talk about. Missing barrels is about changing speeds, and that's what Will's doing for us right now. And I think he just keeps getting better every time he goes out there.
How's Renfro's wrist?
Yeah, I think, it actually got him in a hand. I'm not sure what you call it, but, we'll get an x-ray, and, we'll see how it is. I think he could have played today.
Right.
I think he told me, he said, Coach, I could play. It's really sore, but I could play. And, but we didn't want to risk that. And, we wanted to get Armstrong in the game because he's somebody who's worked very hard. He's been very deserving. His practices have been outstanding. And I thought he played very, very well today also.
In the past, you might have saved lineups like this for a midweek game or something, but you're testing him against an NCAA team.
Yeah, and Samford's a good ball club. They can really hit. The minute you get into a little bit of, lazy up in the zone, the Irwin kid hits it out of the ballpark, and they can bite you. They're a good club, and quite frankly, so is Purdue. I think this is a nice little test for us, a nice little weekend, because I think both those teams are going to do some damage in their leagues this year.
So plans?
Yeah,
go ahead. Plans for this week with about 6 games, and
Woody will go on Tuesday, and then I think it was very beneficial for us not to have to get Polio into this game because I think he might be able to start on Wednesday or maybe even back up Woody on Tuesday. So that really helps our cause. But don't know on Wednesday, but for right now we'll have Woody on the mound on Tuesday.
Hit on a little bit, but just what do you think you've learned about your club over this weekend and finally not finally, but you got tested in one of those games, having to come back?
Well, this ballpark really dictates one-run games. When we play inter-squad after inter-squad game, they're all one-run games. So our kids are just so used to it. But I think what we learned is who can come off the bench and help us. Who can come in the game situationally on the mound. I think we've learned, pinch running, pinch hitting duties. Late inning defensive replacements. We had an idea about that, but until kids actually go out and do it, it's difficult. And what's really difficult is when you get into shadows here and sun issues. Again, you practice those things, but once they happen in a game, it's a lot different. So really proud of that part of our club. I think we have a lot of components that are going to help us win games.
Good out there. Yeah, it felt great, and I just want to thank God for blessing us with another day, another opportunity to come out here and get another sweep under our belt. And this team's really taking flight, so it's fun to watch.
You got to watch them last year, and even though they're not quite the same team, they swing free. They hit a lot of fly balls.
They love to swing. They love to swing, and I think that plays right into me and MRI's game plan today. We're just going in and pumping the zone and letting our defense work because our defense is special. And it's awesome.
How are so many call strikeouts?
Yeah, it was just, Emma was just doing some awesome calling pitches, and I was just grateful to execute, so it's good.
Will, how are you different from last year? Because, you only had one quality start last year, and you struggled about the 4th, 5th inning.
Well, I think it's just maturity. This summer really helped me out, and just growing in my body more. Losing weight helped a lot, and I think I'm more athletic, and it just evens itself out, I guess.
You feel like you're more of a pitcher than a thrower than you were at Emory?
Definitely. I feel like Coach Thompson's done an awesome job, and he's just led me, and I'm just trying to follow and just getting better as a pitcher.
You all left a bunch of guys on base the first couple innings, but you just stayed with it and kept them off the board until the offense broke free.
Oh, I knew we were going to break free too. I mean, like I said, we're taking flight, and I just can't say so much about this team. I mean, our hitting's improved so much, and it's just that much easier just to focus on pitching instead of worrying about run support, because I know we're going to have it.
Did you think they were showing faith in you too? That they used kind of a different lineup today, starting guys like Armstrong and others that hadn't played a whole lot?
I love it. I'm so glad Derek got out there and got his first start, and it was just awesome to see him doing it. And I don't really care. I just know our team's better than the other teams. So anybody they put out there, I'm confident in.
Stuff-wise, what were you working with today, Will?
Fastball had a lot of tilt to it, and I was just pounding that in the zone, and my slider was a lot sharper than it was last weekend, and I have a lot of confidence in my changeup, so those 3 pitches.
That was a real mighty first base hit you got there, but the last couple.
Yeah, there was a little luck involved, but I swung the bat well other than that.
How were you going against their pitcher?
I got a couple fastballs, so I just took advantage of those fastballs and took that one the other way, and then I went up the middle. Just took short swings today.
Talk about the opportunity with Wes just kind of dealing with his quad deal right now. It seems like you're getting a lot of ABs at first.
Yeah, I've never played first before, but it's a good experience. I think I started about 3 weeks ago, but I'm starting to feel pretty comfortable over there. But he should be back pretty soon. It'll be good to have him back in the lineup.
But just getting the ABs, no matter where you're on the field, just how has that helped you so much?
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm thankful to get some extra ABs, and I'll play wherever as long as I'm in the lineup.
What was it like watching Cox work out there? That
was good for him. That was really good for him. He seemed like he kept the ball down. His changeup was working good. He was locating the fastball.
Did y'all know the offense was going to break out at some point?
We had offensively we had a pretty good fall, and we had a feeling that we know we're a good offensive club. Everyone always talks about our pitching and defense, but we're pretty solid offensively, and I think it's starting to show.
For the new guys, it's always difficult to hit in this ballpark. Have you kind of figured it out, or are you still kind of transitioning with that?
Just trying to hit the ball up the middle. The park hasn't really played that much of a factor.